Something unfolded in Jerusalem that stopped thousands of people at once. And what followed was an unsettling silence that many still can't explain, because this wasn't rumor, it wasn't one person's story, and it didn't unfold slowly. It happened all at once, across different parts of the city, among believers, skeptics, locals, and visitors, all reacting at the exact same moment. And the reason most people never heard about it on mainstream news matters just as much as what actually occurred. Because it began as an ordinary morning with streets waking up, shops opening, prayers beginning, tour forming. Nothing unusual at all, until time itself seemed to pause. When people in separate locations suddenly looked up together and realized the sky was no longer the same. Witnesses describing a sudden brilliance brighter than daylight yet gentle on the eyes. Not weather, not a flare, not the sun, but a vertical glow forming in the eastern sky, stretching downward from the clouds and stopping just above the ground. And within it movement, some seeing shapes, others only light, but everyone feeling the same thing, a heavy stillness. Awe, a presence that felt aware. Intelligent, overwhelming, conversation stopping mid-sentence. People frozen, some unable to stand, others crying without knowing why. And what made it different was that people who could not see each other reported the same direction. The same moment, the same duration. Strangers reacting in unison without coordination. Journalists, tourists, religious leaders, and people who claimed no belief in anything spiritual at all. Some trying to rationalize it, others realizing denial made no sense when everyone around them was already on their knees. Some describing a sound that wasn't loud but felt like pressure. And many saying those few minutes felt longer than years. Because during that time something else happened. Not fear but reflection. A sudden awareness of choices, priorities, direction. One woman saying her anxiety lifted instantly. Another saying grief she carried for years suddenly felt finished. A religious leader admitting the moment exposed motives he had avoided his entire life. Not guilt but alignment. And many noticed the number of minutes mattered. Not as superstition but as completion, cycles, fulfillment. Because throughout history transitions often arrive quietly, not with chaos but clarity. And clarity is uncomfortable, especially in Jerusalem, a city where ancient patterns have always resurfaced before major shifts, where pillars of light, clouds, fire, and presence were never decoration but direction, appearing before deliverance, before judgment, before return. And what unsettled many witnesses afterward wasn't excitement but urgency, restlessness, changed behavior, sudden commitments, because moments like this don't repeat endlessly, they interrupt and pass, and what follows depends entirely on response. Some dismissed it, others couldn't sleep, some changed their lives, same sky, same moment, different outcomes, because signs don't force belief, they invite decision. And in recent years, similar reports of vivid dreams, convictions, and unexplained encounters have increased worldwide. Easy to ignore individually but impossible to dismiss collectively. Because acceleration always comes before arrival, and arrival never announces its date, only its nearness, forcing one uncomfortable question. If everything you're building disappeared tomorrow, what would remain? Because history shows preparation is never optional and tomorrow is never guaranteed. And if this message unsettles you, that isn't accidental. Discomfort is often the mind catching up to truth. So don't rush past it. Ask yourself honestly, if everything culminated sooner than expected, would you be ready? Because moments like the one witnessed in Jerusalem don't happen to impress, they happen to prepare. And preparation always begins internally, before explanations, before headlines, before timelines. And if you're still listening, something in you recognizes the weight of this. So pay attention to what you prioritize after this ends, because that's where the real response shows. And before we close, if content like this helps you think deeper and see clearer, like this video and subscribe to Ralamind, because this channel exists to sharpen awareness, not numb it. And remember this: moments don't change the world, responses do.